Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Monson Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook and also on YouTube. It is a pleasure to see you today. It is Wednesday, April 16. Semana Santa is here. The tourists are here, and we're going to break that down in a little while. But first, as always, I welcome the opportunity to say hello and welcome to anybody that is watching live for the first time. All you have to do is write the capital letter N at the beginning of your comment, and we'll be so happy to give you a nice, cheerful welcome. And of course, if you have an important thing that you would like to share with everyone and you want it to be discussed later on, it helps a great deal if you add a capital letter Q to your comment. I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning. It is nice and comfortable here at Casa Chaos. Luna is chilling next to me as usual, and she's stopped begging for attention, which is nice, which means I can devote all my attention to you. And we start with the news. As I mentioned before, it's here, and so are the tourists. I mean, tomorrow is the first big day, but it has started. I can feel it. I can see it. There's tourists out there. Semana Santa tourists, that is. According to preliminary figures from the Tourism Bureau, Puerto Vallarta expects an influx of 92,090 visitors during Semana Santa, out of which 67,226 will come from other parts of Mexico, and 24,863 will be foreigners. This represents an average occupancy rate of 85.46%. With 155,872 rooms occupied and an economic impact of nearly 1.61 billion pesos. So it's going to be busy, as we've been mentioning, and it's going to be good. At least that's what authorities are hoping for. Now, while many Mexican states clutch their pearls and ban alcohol during Semana Santa, not our state, not the state of Jalisco. Jalisco is of the mindset of, Jesus turned water into wine, so why should we stop now? So, in case you were wondering, you are fully authorized to tequila yourself into a spiritual experience during this holiday, responsibly, of course, or at least with some snacks. And the good news is nobody will be stopping you. The first of 12 lifeguard watchtowers announced by Mayor Munguia has been installed at Camarones Beach. This is, of course, to reinforce security during Semana Santa and Semana de Pascua. The rest of the towers will be installed in other strategic beaches during the vacation period. Of course, this is only useful, I suppose, if you can actually go in the ocean. Authorities have been warning about jellyfish in several beaches and about jellyfish and crocodiles at Holi Beach. But when the croc count ascended to 3 specimens, there was no option other than to close the beach for swimming. A series of recommendations were issued for residents and tourists, urging them or you to respect warning signs, avoid entering the water, and staying away from the river mouth. Special emphasis has been placed on following these instructions and those of lifeguards. The purple flag will remain raised in this beach and maybe other beaches because of the jellyfish, as long as these animals continue to pose a threat to public safety. If the reptiles do not choose to go elsewhere on their own, authorities will have no choice but to capture them and relocate them to a habitat away from urban areas. Now, I don't know what street in Cinco de Diciembre this is, but it looks pretty, or rather pretty dusty, because Seapal is upgrading and repairing water pipes to improve water service continuity in the neighborhood. So, it looks dicey. I hope this is not your street. And if it is, well, rest assured you will not be lacking water once this is completed. And today, as much as I don't enjoy doing this kind of announcement, I do have an important public service announcement. Yes, I know that for many of you, this is paradise and this is your favorite place to be, and it is mine. But between Facebook posts I've seen lately featuring security camera footage and news articles such as this one describing incidents at shopping centers, one thing is very certain: pickpockets are on the rise. So please be mindful of your belongings while you're out and about, tequilaing yourself or sauntering or enjoying the company of your friends. It's not fun when this happens, and it happens at any city. Puerto Vallarta is no exception. And the last thing you need, if you're vacationing during this period, or even if you're not, the last thing anybody needs is to have your life disrupted just because somebody decided that your belongings shouldn't belong to that someone. Be mindful, be careful out there. And now let us take a quick look at where is my weather? Hello, weather forecast. You were in the wrong screen. Let me put you where you're supposed to be. Da 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 da. And I think we're good to go. Did you know it takes about 24 what? Did you know it takes about 24 cat skins to make a coat? That is disgusting. 27 degrees out there. Humidity is at 62%. And our weather forecast says we're going to enjoy a humid day with mostly cloudy skies, a high of 28 and a low of 18. Then tomorrow, Thursday, boom, boom, boom. Mostly clear skies in the morning with mostly cloudy skies in the afternoon, a high of 29 and a low of 19. And then on Friday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with mostly clear skies in the afternoon, a high of 29 and a low of 18. And we continue with our oh I'll get to your comment, Daniel, because you'll appreciate where that came from. Daniel is saying he's laughing because I said Jesus turned water into wine. Why should we stop now? Um, I'll get to that in a second, I promise. What else do I have? I know I have something. Oh my God. I don't know what to say about this one, but it is true. I mean, sometimes you just have to go. Sometimes you got to go. And I'm talking number one or I'm talking number two. And trust me, I could write a book about having to go, but we're not going to go there. The bottom line, and in case you are wondering, there are only 3 public restrooms along the Malecon. And local authorities are hoping to change that. And I came across this rendering, or I hope it is a rendering. I have not seen these things installed on the Malecon yet. And I hope I don't because they're fugly. But local authorities are concerned that people need to go number 1 and number 2. And there are no places to go. So authorities are looking for other options. Installing public restrooms every 2 blocks is one of them. Where and how and what they will look like is a mystery. How well will they be maintained? Oh my God, that's another story, but let's not even go there. The bottom line is going when it's time to go is not that simple in Puerto Vallarta. And you're probably thinking, oh, well, all we do is we walk into the nearest restaurant and they'll let us in. And I'll tell you, if you look like a foreign tourist, that never fails. But I've had the very unpleasant experience of being denied access into a business, a restaurant, just to go to the bathroom along the Malecon. And this is unfortunate. I've never really wanted um, to get on anybody's bad side, but it happens. And it happens not only on the Malecon, it happens in a lot of places. Have you had an unpleasant experience in Puerto Vallarta trying to go number one or number two and not being allowed to enter a business for the sole purpose of doing the deed? I'm just curious. Maybe it happens to tourists or foreign looking people as well. And today, of course, is Wednesday, and that means that I'm going to be spending part of the afternoon at the Joint Boutique Hotel conducting spotlight interviews. Today, I'm excited to say that we have a real estate person talking about condos that he and the company that he represents are selling. His name is Dominic Riggins, and this should be easy because their office is located right within the Joint Boutique Hotel. All they have to do is walk 20 steps and they'll be in interview mode. And of course, we have the wonderful Delilah Boku, who is a singer that I've been looking at her photographs on social media. She's transformed herself into the look of Annie Lennox for a 2 performance presentation of Sweet Dreams Eurythmics concert experience. And this is coming up, so it'll be fun to see what that is all about. And I think this is pretty much all that I have to share with you today. Of course, I'm going to be working this afternoon on my own promotional video for that one, because it's coming up, and I want to have fun with this one, and I hope many people will attend. This is a week from tomorrow at the Joint Boutique Hotel with all kinds of fabulous prices. Some of them I already have here, others are coming, so I'll keep you posted on that. Let us now take a quick look at. Oh no! Oh no! I love it. I love it. Lots of good mornings. Lots of good mornings. David, you are a sweetheart. I love watching you count your days. It's been what? How many years? I don't remember, but you've been watching Coffee and Headlines for a long time. I appreciate you, and I appreciate watching you count from Boston, or the immediacy of Boston, I should say. Many, many, many good mornings. My dear Daniel, oh, I can't wait to hang out with you in Guadalajara, with you and Lars at the end of May. It'll be wonderful. There's an explanation behind this one. Jesus turned water into wine. Why should we stop now? Came from ChatGPT. And ChatGPT has a new voice. It's not an actual voice, or maybe it is. But all I know is that if you invoke the Monday persona on ChatGPT, ChatGPT gives you the snarkiest expressions you can think of. So what I did this morning is I copied my news note and I put it into ChatGPT and I said, "Can you Mondify this?" And that's part of what I got. So if you want to have snarky comebacks for your friends, all you have to do is go into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will lend a holding hand. It was good, wasn't it? I thought it was funny. Let's see what else. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Your show gives us a very nice connection to Puerto Vallarta when we are not there. It's a great way to stay connected in mind and body, hopefully also in heart. It's a great way to stay connected. We appreciate you, and the cluster, thank you. Well, I appreciate you back, Chris. I love hearing remarks or reading remarks like that. Queen of Question, Laura says, is there a special dish served during this time, the Holy Week holiday? No meat. No meat, lots of fish. I'm not very religious, so I really couldn't get into specifics. I know that no meat is the norm And let's see what else we have. Stan, my favorite neurofeedback god, friend, and community partner. It is so great to see you. And I hope we can connect sometime soon because we have some pendientes to do. We have a sculpture class. We have other things to do. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope your pug rescue website is doing great. As you may recall, our friend Stan not only is our neurofeedback god here in Puerto Vallarta, but he and his husband are developing their own, or further developing their um, nonprofit association that rescues pugs here in Puerto Vallarta. Let's see. John sends us a cue with a good morning and a happy hump day. John, how are you? I am so sorry I missed your play, but I'm wondering what is next in the docket for Teatro Sin Borders, our local community theater company. Please let us know if you have the tea. And let's see what else. I know that weather person. It didn't work for me today, Rita. Cruelty to cats is not my thing. And Laura reacted to that as well. I don't like snarky comment today. Well, neither did I. So, and Luna doesn't look that happy either. And Vicky's version is priceless. Jalisco turns agave into tequila white stuff. You know, that's good too. I like it. In fact, I might drink to that. I love it. Let's see. Aren't there places that you pay 10 pesos to use? I saw them. If all fails, buy a drink to avoid problems, especially if you have a medical emergency or condition. Yes, there are some places around the city. And, if you know where they are and you have a small bladder like I do, then they're ingrained in your brain and you know what direction to go when the time is near. But for a lot of people, it can be challenging, and it is what it is. And it is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Patrick says, I really hate that the OXXOs don't have bathrooms. I've encountered a couple of situations because of it. It is unfortunate, Patrick. I had a very unpleasant situation at Telcel not too long ago. They have a public restroom that was closed because it was being serviced. So I was standing at the window being taken care of. And you know that once you get to the window, you don't want to step away from the window at Telcel or any one of those offices. So I said, do you have a restroom? And the lady says, it's not working. And I asked the lady, well, where do you go when you have to go? And she said, well, we have our own restroom. And I asked, well, can I use your restroom? And she said, no. If you need to go to the restroom, you can go to Soriana 2 blocks away from here, or you can go to the stadium 2 blocks away from here. And I got ugly. And I went outside and I peed on the bushes. Sorry. It happened. I really had to go. There's no way I was going to make it all the way 2 fucking blocks. Oh, well, shit happens. And I don't mean that literally, at least not this time. Oh my goodness. Yes, John, the worst is finding a restroom and you go and there is no toilet paper. Then you are like, ¿Qué pedo? Yes. Now I always carry toilet paper in my backpack. That is a very smart idea. Oh my goodness. I don't know that I agree with you, Susan, and that's okay. We are allowed to disagree here. Unless they are public bathrooms, you should at least be a customer. Nobody owes you a toilet. Wow. Well, I just hope you don't have a bad case of the runs and you find yourself walking on the Malecon and all of a sudden you have to go because you're right. Nobody owes you a toilet. but there's such a thing as common courtesy. Um, let's see what else. Boom, 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 boom. Logan says, Semana Santa. Maybe it's just me, but it certainly seems more chaotic out on the streets this year compared to last year. Jesus takes the wheel. Jesús toma la rueda. I love it. And David reminds me that it was our dear friend, Paul Christ, that introduced you to Coffee and Headlines. And it's been forever. I love it. Meggie, I don't see you frequently, but it's lovely to see you. You've been watching for a while as well. Facebook is about 15 to 20 seconds ahead of YouTube in your presentation. Interesting. I can control that. Actually, I have zero latency on YouTube, and the latency on Facebook I cannot control. And it is just what it is. Let's see. Oh, Carmen. Carmen is going to Mexico City for a few days. Well, this is a perfect time to get away from here and go to Mexico City. But I also know I imagine why you're going to Mexico City. So I hope things are okay at home. Good wishes. Good wishes. Let's see. Special dish, capirotada, which is like a Mexican cinnamon raisin roll with kind of challah-like dough. You know, I didn't even know that capirotada is traditional in Semana Santa, but I'll take your word for that. And Michael, hello, Michael. It is great to see you. I'm going to have lunch at Siam on Saturday. The Siam here in Los Tules. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyhow, Michael says, my thoughts about bathroom is that there are at least 5 starting from the Parque Hidalgo all the way down to the Tile Park Plaza. The issue is that there is no signs to inform local and tourists. No need to spend additional monies on more bathrooms. They could spend some on revamping and improving the ones there. I totally agree. I totally agree with you, Michael. The challenge here is that for every wonderful idea that the city has, there's no maintenance strategy once they get built. You know, so if you go and look at any of the bathrooms, you know, this state-of-the-art modern tourist destination deserves better. And it's an ongoing thing, I'm afraid. And yes, it was either pee on the bushes. I also contemplated grabbing one of their trash cans and putting it right in front of me between my legs and doing a little bit of civil disobedience and peeing right there on the counter. It's not a nice thing to talk about. It's not a nice thing to share, but shit happens. And I have no filter, apparently. And I think, oh, I love that hashtag, shituations. Well, again, my problem is not with situations. My problem is more with p-tuations. Again, it is what it is. I think we are done. Yes, we are done with today's broadcast. Thank you for the lively conversation. And thank you for another day of being useful and connecting you with all kinds of things, shitty things and fun things. I'm going to get ready for my interviews this afternoon. If you're in the neighborhood and want to stop by and say hello, you're more than welcome. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow morning for more coffee, headlines, and more stories to share. Have a great day.